two. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nobody is joking, not a word was spoken, now my fridge is broken. What's the deal with high scores? They're like, wait, no, I should say what's the deal with low scores? Because they are like high scores with the ground. No, we're talking about high scores. Really just kind of scores in general now. There's a lot of stuff like, another thing, I'm kind of on a video game kick here. I play video games a lot. Whatever, fuck you. And it seems like this is more of a thing that was older, like arcade and like Atari stuff, and you know, even like some NES stuff. But like, there's a lot of games where like you play them, and they're kind of designed in a way where like it's more of a competition. You're trying to get scores, or if they're a single player, you just see how you can get the highest score on it, because it doesn't really have a definite end and stuff like that. Some games where it's like, it's cool to have a score, I guess. But like, it not always, you know, like a lot of newer games don't really need them. Like some games have like score on them, and you gotta wonder why you have a score there. Like Super Mario Bros. Is a nice example. I mean, that's not very new, but that was way back on the NES. But still, like, you got a score on there, and it's fun to have a score and see how much you can, you can get from knocking out enemies and getting coins and all this stuff and getting points for it. But really, I mean, the score doesn't help you. Getting coins does themselves, because you can get one-ups, but the score doesn't really help. And all it is like, I guess if you want to try and compete with your buddy, you know, a two-player game, and see who can get a better score. But really the goal of that is to save the princess, and then the coins help you get extra lives. So there's not a lot of incentive really to try to get a high score, because it doesn't really change anything. And that's kind of the problem with a lot of things. It's like, why bother having scores or high scores on stuff now, you know, when the score isn't the goal, and it doesn't really add to it, you know? It's just like, oh, cool, you know, I got a bunch of points, that's cool that I did that, but I didn't need to, you know? It's kind of one of those where it's like, who gives a shit? I guess there's, you know, like, high scores. Wow. Really lost my train of thought there. Because, like, they made sense. Yeah, like I said, they made sense in older games, and, like, they don't really make sense in a lot of newer ones when the goal isn't to get a better score or a high score. The goal is more to do some other objective in the game, and you get points along the way. And I guess it gives you kind of a satisfactory, you know, like, it's a satisfaction of, like, killing stuff and, like, getting points for it. Like, that was cool that I got those points for doing that, and these were worth a lot of points. Sometimes they'll kind of work it in where, like, you'll get certain, like, awards or certain, you know, small things for score, and then it's okay to have it, so you're like, okay, I should be working on trying to get score. But, you know, like, score is more for, like, you know, like old, like, Atari, older arcade stuff. Like pinball is a great one where it's about getting the best score, you know, stuff like that. One of the things I guess is, like, in the arcade, it even seemed a little silly sometimes too, because, like, you know, like, you get a high score, and some games are really rough on you. Some games, I don't think there's a lot, but I think there's a few where, like, you'll get a high score, but it won't have your name. You know, you don't get to put a name or anything. Like a Blade Pac-Man is one of those that'll do it, but, like, there's only one high score, and you don't get to put your name on it, but you just gotta remember that you got that high score. But, like, any other ones, you know, they're just, like, initials, but, like, I don't know, like, some of those, it seems, like, stupid to do it, even ones where you can put your name on them, because it's, like, you know, you, like, oh, there's people out there again, they, you know, they reset the machines every so often, so, like, you can't, like you get a high score, you'd be like, sweet, I got the high score, it was awesome. And then you come back later and there'll be another high score. It might be higher, or it could possibly be lower. It'll have someone else's name there, and you'd be like, what the fuck? I got a better score than that. If it was a lower one, and it's like it doesn't even matter, because like you know, the scores just keep getting erased, and that's a really weird thing where it's like the scores kind of tend to not matter anymore, and you're just playing the game for having fun, which is fine. But some of those games, like I said, don't have an ultimate goal so much. It's just like the motive of trying to keep going as long as you can to get the highest score, and oh my god, that's annoying that people are out there being loud. So I'm just wondering, like, what is the deal with high scores? Really wish that this hadn't happened while I was doing a video. But you see how I usually do these late at night? It's because there's a lot of noise out in the hall randomly that I cannot control. Not that I'm not loud in here every once in a while, because when I record I'm rather loud. I know this isn't anything to do with what I'm talking about, but I just wanted to try to talk while that was happening. So like, wait till that was done, and then it could be like, what's the deal with high scores? And then we could just go and cut it and go to the end. Refrigerator, refrigerator.